this clock and that clock. There's two different times. We'll just kind of get the one, combine them together, and I think it's time to start. So, okay. Have you tuned already? So we have to check. So when you're in a large group like this, have you talked about how to tune? What will be the best way? Okay. So I'll just let you do that. So if you wouldn't mind playing your open Cs, this is new.
Sorry, we're switching anything.
Okay.
It's all changed. Taking this.
All right, thanks.
For the Herrick Chamber Strings, and we're going to be playing Symphony No. 12 in G major by Mozart.
Yeah? Okay, got it. Just a couple of things that I think would make it sound even better. But let me ask first, when you're working as a group, do you have a general direction? Like, what are you thinking? What are you trying to accomplish? What was going through your head before you started this? It might be a couple of things like, you just want to stay together, or you want to keep a steady beat. And can someone give me just something that you thought about, or maybe talked about in the hallway? Do you have something?
Not to speed up.
Not to speed up. Okay, that's really good. So if that's something that the group was thinking about, that's one of the things that I didn't really comment about. That was good. So that was a goal that you accomplished. That was great. That was really nice. And that's one of the most important things. There are two things in music that are non-negotiable. That's rhythm and pitch. Okay, and those two things I really didn't write about because you did so well at in both of those areas. So once you get those two basic things, the rhythm and pitch, we can start talking about some of the nicer things like the phrasing and volume and expression and interpretation. So before I talk about those, the one thing that I thought as a group you could do a little bit more of is just watch each other more, which I know is awkward sometimes, because you have to look each other in the eye, you know. So those were some of the things that I wrote in the comment sheet, just about to watch some of the beginnings and the endings of the phrases and areas were not always together exactly, and I think if you just watch each other, that'll help. And then talking about dynamics, there are some of the things that you could do as a group that would help. If everyone does this, I think it would make a big effect because you have so many people, as far as what part of the bow you're going to play. So if I were just to generalize loud and soft, could you give me an answer as to if we were to divide that into different parts of the bow? What would you think about if I wanted to play loud, I would play in what part of the bow? The lower half, right? If I want to play softer, I'd play in the upper half. And there's some places where we play in the middle, you know. So for the most part, we played in the lower half when it was forte. In the piano sections, I think as a group you could do a better job of playing in the upper half and making the volume really, really change there. So we just have a couple of minutes. I'm going to have you try a few things. For instance, where's the first place that you have a piano? As a group, everyone has it together.
It's like E.
Yes, letter E. Okay, and you have these smooth bows. Now, you might have heard, you know, I'm not sure what your teacher might have told you in this spot, what to do with your bow, if anything. Do you recall anything, or having written your score? No. Do you have something? Yeah.
Well, for the viola part, we're supposed to play soft and then play loud when we have like the part in the middle, like we're supposed to do the middle and then go back to song.
Great. Okay, so let's try that. Can we start at letter E? And what I like to do is have everyone start in the middle of the bow. Everyone start in the middle of the bow. Okay. So I'll let you start them off. Okay, stop for a second. Take you about half of that now. About half of it. Even softer. Okay, now, that was much better. That was about a 50% change. In my score, the measure before F, I have something printed. Do you have something printed there in your part? 3 words?
Lots of bow.
Lots of bow, yeah. So contrasting that, what did you do? Did you use lots of bow there? No, not at all. Okay, so perfect. So we're setting it up. You know, so whenever I see that and something says lots of bow, I have to make sure that I'm not using a lot of bow ahead of time. So when I get to the part that says lots of bow, I can use lots of bow. All right. Now remember what that sounds like. Remember what it feels like when you're using the bow there. In that section where we just did at letter E. And I want you to go back to letter, let's go back to letter C. And if I'm correct, this is a four-take section. Yeah. So now you have to, you know, plug that into your memory, what it's like, what we just did at letter E, and see if you can remember what you're going to do with your bow at letter E. Okay? So forte at letter C, let's try that. That was pretty good. That was pretty. I think it could be better though. And what I want you to think about now is the contrast to, just like we talked about setting up the lots of bow, you have to see the piano coming. And so at letter D, you have to play your loudest. Okay. You have to really give a big push. And then you might have talked about the measure before E, maybe backing off a little bit, and I noticed some of you did that. That's fine. That's fine. That's really good to do. But make sure you make letter D really strong. Okay, can you try it again?
From C.
From C, yes, thank you. Out of the corner of my eye, someone back here jumped out of their seat, you know, and that's what you have to do. You have to. Now, does that? Do you feel like you're exaggerating a little bit? Maybe you be over the top. Maybe a little bit. No. Okay, good. That's good. You have to do that. You have to exaggerate. Sometimes you feel like what you're doing is way over the top, and you're kind of getting outside of your shell. I know it's hard to do that at 8:30 in the morning. You know, to just kind of really get into it. But that's what makes the music more exciting, especially since everyone here is doing such a good job of, you know, your intonation is wonderful, you play so well in tune, and you count together, and your rhythm is fantastic. So those are the things that you have to focus on, you know, and just always set them up. You have to see them coming ahead of time and anticipate, and you have to think about what are you doing with your bow. The volume is going to come from your bow. And so when you see a forte coming, back away a little bit. When you see a piano coming, play out nice and strong so you can prepare for those. Okay. Nice job, everyone. That was a really treat. That was a great treat for me to hear you play this morning. So thank you.